What's happening, everybody? Today is Friday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo Day, and Pops and I are back in the shop. And we've been busy the past couple of days. We've gotten some more bars on the chassis, and I'll show y'all what we got going on and what we're gonna do this evening. We are about to tackle probably one of the bigger projects of this. But once we tackle this, I think it's gonna be all right. We're gonna be all downhill from there. So y'all hang out with us. We're gonna work on the factory stock. No. All right, y'all. No. Them two over there playing. The old shop dog. But what Pops and I done last night, we got our diagonal bar in here in the passenger door. Obviously, that comes up and meets with the diagonal that goes to the frame through the firewall. We got our other 1.25 inch diagonal here to help support the down tube here. And we X-braced our rear clip. So we got that in. Got that X-braced. And what we still need to do is put our support bars in from that bar down to our shock mount, spring mount on both sides. And then we are still thinking about putting a bar to the spring pocket itself. So we're going to work on that. We're going to do some thinking on that. And we still need to put in our bars for our control arm bracing to right there on both sides. We haven't put those in yet. And we still need to put in our pieces in between the door bars, and we're going to put more of those in this evening. We're going to try to get to that point, depending on how long it takes on what we're going to work on this evening. It shouldn't take too long because Pops and I got a pretty good game plan. And Pops knocked all the front suspension off earlier, as y'all can see right there. We will not be using any of that. We will only be using the lower control arms. So we'll take those off. We'll put good bushings in them, ball joints, obviously. And then we'll order new upper control arms. We'll order new spindles and stuff like that. So we won't be using anything but the lowers. And y'all can tell right here, we welded on tabs for our T-bar. And this evening we are going to work on getting that bolted on, get the T-bar bolted on. And we are going to work on the firewall. We're going to tackle the firewall. So Pops got her all ground and cleaned up. Now, don't know where I was at. We had a slight interruption there. The wife was hollering across the yard. But anyway, Pops got her cleaned up. And what we decided to do, well, he pulled off the motor mounts, cleaned all that up. We're waiting on parts. So we got motor mounts coming. Hopefully they'll be here tomorrow. And we get those in place. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do. If we're going to run the mid mounts between the bell housing and the block, or if we're going to run a steel bell housing, which we would still like to do anyway. Yeah. Instead of running an aluminum bell housing with a guard, we would like to run a steel bell housing. And if we do run a steel bell housing, we're going to do a transmission cross member mount. So that way we don't have to do anything between the bell housing. But anyway, tonight is going to be firewall night. And we've decided, since there's so much rust right here and we have to patch all these holes, we're just going to cut out this whole big section right here. And we're going to replace all of this first. Then we're going to take and put a patch over that hole. And then we're going to eventually cut this corner off right here and put a straight piece on it. Because all of this is going to tie in, like I said the other night, to that T-bar. And we will do a piece over here. That's why Pops went ahead and cut this off. It was hanging out over here. It was just, you know, that thin spot where we had notched for the bar. It was out here in the way. We're just going to make a whole panel to cover this hole and come up here all the way to the T-bar. So, y'all hang out with us. We're going to get this in. We're trying to get the firewall finished up tonight. And once we get the firewall finished, we can work on getting this bar in to tie this bar to the frame right here in front of the firewall. And then we can do our other foot bar that's going to come out and bend and go in and tie into that bar. And it'll go through the firewall right in there somewhere. So that's what we're going to work on. I'm probably going to throw it up on time lapse because it's a lot of cutting right here. And it shouldn't take us too long, but I don't want to keep dragging the video out. I'd rather y'all be able to watch this in real time, patch the holes instead of cutting. So y'all hang out with us. We're going to throw it up on time lapse and get busy cutting. All right, y'all. As y'all can see, got a little carried away with the grinder, but that's okay. We were cutting that off and realized that we were only leaving very minimal on there, and we didn't figure it was feasible to try to patch and tie into what little was there. So we left all that stock material there, and the hump, of course, and then all that. We're just gonna make this all in one piece here. So it'll be cleaner. And the only hole that we'll have to put in it will be for our steering shaft. So it'll all be one solid piece. So y'all hang out. Pops and I is gonna get this T-bar mounted. Let me zoom out a little bit here. We're gonna get this T-bar bolted on where it needs to be. That way we can get our width and where our height, where the T-bar is gonna be. So y'all hang out. All right, y'all, I wanted to put it on real time. Pops and I have kind of got an idea of what we're doing here now. As y'all can see, this is what we were talking about. We just, we cut it long and we cut it wider than we needed. And we tacked it to the T-bar, tacked it down that side over there, starting down that side there. Now, I just cut that off in the time lapse. And now we're just gonna start welding it to the contour over there of our hole that we cut out. And then we'll come over here and cut this side off as well and just start kind of taking the rubber mallet, forming it to where we want it to go. And that's going to be exactly what we want. It's solid. The 18 gauge is actually a little thicker, it seems like, than the Firewall. And
counting for the rust.
Yeah, so we're going to leave it on real time while we get this kind of formed in here, and y'all hang out with it.
Bring that out right there. Right here, just a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me tack down here.
And just start working it up.
That way it won't bounce.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna tack.
Hey, I got a pretty good roll in right here.
That's what I'm saying. I can see that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You may have to get that claw hammer.
I got it right here.
Oh, okay.
I got him.
All right. Let me get a tack on that. And we'll start working our way down there.
Oh, it's rusted.
I need the regular hammer.
It's rusted right there.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry for all the beating, y'all. It comes with the territory of sheet metal work.
Hey, don't go no further down right yet. You see you hammer it. You're to start it up with. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, now knock the roll out. Oh, when you're hitting, you're knocking the floor pan that way, knocking it away from the sheet metal. I may just have to push in on it.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to push in on it and see what I can tap.
You want me to get out there and take something instead of getting it?
No.
All right. Woo!
Let me turn that way down.
I like it. I gotta get up anyway, my knees sitting on there.
This is the only bad part I hate about sheet metal work. Dealing with rusty thin on metal. Oh, we get? Yeah. Try to get a tack on the bottom. And for the rest of that right there in that corner, I may just have to get my brass piece.
You're about to get down below that worst. Hey.
Yep.
Right in that very corner.
Looks like it's pretty tight across that bottom right there.
Something like that. Play a little song.
Yeah.
Go something like that right there.
Yep. I have to keep working her on around there. Yep. All right, y'all. Y'all give us just a little bit. We're gonna get this thing worked in here, get it where we want it and tacked on, and we'll pick back up here in just a little bit. All right, y'all. Well, as y'all can see, that piece is tacked in, and we had to do some beating right along through there to get it bent under. We even had to put a little slit cut in it to get it to go where we needed it to go. Of course, it's bubbled out right here just a little bit. That got blurry. Anyway, right there. So we gotta cut. We're gonna lay the level up against the frame and then cut straight up. So it'll be a straight cut. And there will be a piece of 18 gauge that'll go from the front of the firewall here to the T-bar, and it'll run straight up and down, and that way the sheet metal can pot rivet to it and attach to it. So, but that's where we're at. We're gonna keep on plugging away at it. I didn't wanna leave it on real time while we were doing all that beating and banging. I know that would get irritating and be loud and all that good mess. So y'all hang out with us. We're gonna do some measuring for our other piece over here on the other side and see if we can't get it tacked on and fill the rest of the firewall in. So y'all hang out with us. Perfect. Well, all right, folks. We have a filled-in firewall. Obviously, we got a little hole right there. We will cover that and fill that. We will cover and fill those holes down there. That was access to the old body bolts and stuff. But we'll get those filled in. And we have a firewall that is solid now. So we got some little brackets back here on the back we got to cut off. And we got the T-bar bolted on, obviously tacked to the firewall. Pops and I know we mentioned in the last video that we were going to pot rivet it to the T-bar in case you ever had to replace the T-bar. Well, if you have to replace this T-bar, you've tore up some stuff. So I know that stuff may get hit right here, but that's fine. We can always come in here, cut this T-bar and replace from here out a lot easier than we can the whole thing. So we just tacked it to the T-bar to start with. That's what we're going to roll with. And then that way the T-bar and everything can be powder coated with the chassis. And she'll be good to go. Well, we got her filled in. It's been a good evening. We've been kind of procrastinating on the firewall, but I think we tackled it pretty good. So the shout out, I want to give a shout out to everyone on Facebook on the page called Everything Factory Stock. I asked about firewall and a factory stock, and tons of guys sent pictures. Guys messaged me, sent pictures, and I appreciate every bit of that because it definitely helped us get a good look at what we needed to do. And so I appreciate that very much. Along the whole journey of this car, there's been tons of people that I've asked questions to, and they have not hesitated to answer my questions. And that's what I love about the racing community, is because majority of people want to help. And I know there's guys out there that'll turn their nose up and keep on walking, but I appreciate the ones that give us a hand and give us advice because it means a lot. And we'll definitely return the favor. If you ever need help, give us a holler. So I think that's going to be it for this evening. We're going to pick back up tomorrow and get back at it because it's getting a little late now. So I got to get up and go to work in the morning for a little while. So appreciate y'all watching. Y'all hang out. We'll be back with some more fab work in the morning. What's going on, y'all? Saturday, May 6th. Pops and I back in the shop. And this morning, we worked on some bars. Right now, the sun's shining pretty bright. It's been cloudy just about all day. But it's warm today. And we worked on some feet protection bars this morning. So I'll turn the camera around and show y'all that. And I think we're going to keep working on the front end because we're going pretty good up here. So we may just keep chugging along on this front end up here and get it closer to being knocked out. So we'll show y'all what we got going on. Y'all hang out. All right, as y'all can see, Pops and I put in this bar after we got all the firewall done last night. And we had to come in here and cut this side off straight up and down to where we're going to tie in. And we're going to put another piece of 18 gauge in here to the T-bar, and it'll just run straight up and down. And that way this sheet metal can come in and pot rivet to that. So we'll eventually do that. What we done this morning, as y'all can see, this bar is new. This is just another bar to help protect my feet. That'll be right here. And we got another brace put in between the door bar here so we could do this bar. We're going to come in here, since this is just a short gap, we're going to take some of our 1 inch and just slide in here and just give it some extra bracing on this bar here and this bar. And that'll help support all of that. So we may do a bar from there to the frame to keep anything from coming in here. That's a pretty big hole. So we may stop that hole up with a piece of tubing. But for now, we're going to work on getting our down bar there put in, like this side. And then we're going to work on these frame horns. So kind of got an idea of what we want to do up here. And we'll get these cut off these old bumper mounts, get those out of the way, and clean all this up. So y'all hang out with us. We're going to do some more work on the front end. And we're going to work on that bar right there. So I'll probably leave it on real time for a little bit And y'all can hang out while we do that. So y'all hang out. All right, y'all. I got you set up on the tripod now. So we're gonna leave it on real time. We're gonna throw that bar in right there. Oh, and we was talking about last night. We should have had motor mounts today. Speedway motors come in clutch today. We got our motor mounts. Yeah. Why do you keep doing that? I think you do it now. Does that aggravate me?
Close the throat.
Just done it wrong.
Cut it wrong.
I did. I cut it wrong.
Just only about a half inch, quarter inch. Half inch.
Oh no, I marked it.
Oh,
I marked it. I just cut on the wrong mark. We hadn't been down here in a little while, y'all. We gotta get our mind back in the game. Took a break for lunch.
that's the game people playing there.
Yeah, I might cut another one. That's all right. That's all right.
We'll cut that unit back.
Yeah. You cut another one.
Did you coat me?
I got
There's that line. Rubber?
no.
A hammer?
Making a lot of racket.
Oh,
Then I'm gonna cause that one flow, yeah. Man, I tell you, we shouldn't have took us a lunch break. We went from doing pretty good work to not too good at all.
time to take a nap.
Yeah. We good? Good.
Yeah, that's one.
Turn that wire free down just a little bit. Right. Yeah.
Alright.
Don't know what the neighbor's doing. Old Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Sorry, y'all. I'm making some bad jokes over here. Well, there's that bar there. That's all we're gonna do on that side. But right now, I'm gonna back this camera up here and turn it just a little bit. And we're gonna work on these frame horns right here. Sound like y'all are cutting donuts. So I'm gonna throw it up on time lapse, y'all. We're gonna get these cut off with the bandsaw. And I wanna do a little bit of trimming right here because I kind of got an idea what I wanna do. I don't know if y'all can see, I'll zoom in. Y'all see that slot? The slot right there? I wanna put a tube right there, but I don't like that slot. So I think I'm gonna trim that edge of that frame out and plate that with 1/8 inch as well as the end of the frame. And then I have something solid to weld to. So But that's what we're gonna do. Y'all hang out. All right, y'all. We got our frame horns capped off with 1/8" plate, both sides. And we're going to hold off on this on the front end. Pops and I got discussing bumper and nose piece and stuff like that. So we're going to hold off right here. We're going to check some measurements and stuff with some people and make sure that what we're going to do will kind of keep everything in line with the body. So we want the body to look right. We want it to look good. Obviously, we spent a lot of time on the chassis to make it nice, and we'd rather the body be nice as well. So we're going to do some figuring before we do anything else up here. And for now, I think that's going to be about it for this video. We've got some brackets coming from our buddies at A&A Manufacturing. We've got brake pedal mount brackets coming. We've got seatbelt tabs coming, body tabs, stuff like that. And we will get in here in the next video. We're going to put our bars in for the control arm mounts right here. We decided to come all the way up here to the back dash bar and go down with 1.25" to each one of those. And then that video, we will knock those out. And then I say we come over here and start knocking out our braces in between our door bars. And we'll get all those in, get all those welded pretty much. And then, to be honest with y'all, it's going to be welding up some stuff. We're going to put some more bracing in back here. We're going to put more of these right here on both sides. And then we are going to put one more on the back on each side. So just to kind of give it a little more, we may do those out of 1.25" too, just so that it's just some bracing in there, but not, you know, tons of more weight. So, but that's where she's at, y'all. She's getting there. So we slowly but surely, we only like just a few bars as far as the main tubing goes. And then we will work on a windshield bar. We also have to put in our diagonal in the halo. We haven't done it yet. We've talked about it the past few videos, but we just haven't tackled it yet because we've been doing everything else. So also, we're going to do some more bars back here for fuel cell. And we'll get all of our measurements on that and make our framing with our 2" wide straps that go around the fuel cell and get all that tacked in. And of course, I'll have to weld everything in that X brace on top before we do that, so I can get to all those welds. But that's where she is, y'all. We're getting there day by day and slowly but surely. And once we flip this thing up on its side, we do have to do some boxing underneath these frame rails back here, and of course welding. Also, with the motor mounts coming in today, we're going to round up a bell housing and transmission and get that stuck off in there. See where our transmission mount needs to be. If we don't use the mounts between the bell housing and block, we haven't decided yet. If anybody's ran those mounts, I know there's a couple of guys that comment on our videos that have built cars, factory stocks and stuff. If y'all have ran the little mounts at the back of the block between the bell housing, let me know if you had any issues with the Saginaw input shaft. We just want to make sure that if there's a pilot bearing we need to get, or how difficult is that to work with, because we would like to have those mounts at the back of the block. So if we do put the mounts at the back of the block, we're not going to put a mount back here at the tail housing. So y'all let us know. If y'all have used those, leave us a comment and let us know what kind of luck you have with them. But I think that's going to be it for our Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday, and we'll pick back up. Again, I have to work a little bit in the morning, so I think Pops will come in. Pops and I will get down here tomorrow and start throwing some more tubing in these door bars and bracing some more of these control arms. And like I said, y'all, we're getting there. We're going to do a seat mount too. We just got to get a seat. So there'll be a little more bars right in here. So y'all hang out for that. But until next time,
Appreciate it, guys, gals. God bless you.
see y'all.